You know, guys, yesterday a friend of mine sent me a link. He said, Thomas, you need to check this out, man. This is crazy, crazy stuff. I said, fine. I clicked on the link. It was a Biz News interview. They were talking with Jabulani Khumalo, the founder of MK Party, the so-called founder of MK Party. I'm saying that because, you know, for the longest time, Jacob Zuma told the South Africans that he is the founder of MK Party. He is the one that formed that political party. And quite frankly, he doesn't understand why Jabulani Khumalo goes around telling South Africans that he is the founder and the leader of MK Party. On the other hand, you have Jabulani Khumalo. This is a man that has been crying for the longest time, telling South Africans that Jacob Zuma is a thief, Jacob Zuma is a criminal, this man stole my political party away from me. Jacob Zuma and his allies, they hijacked my ideas. If it wasn't for me, Jacob Zuma would not have a political party today. This is what Jabulani Khumalo has been telling South Africans. So on this interview, Jabulani Khumalo is going to tell us about what actually led him to being kicked off of his own political party. And he's going to tell us about how corrupt Jacob Zuma is. And he's also going to tell us about why he is going to lay criminal charges against Jacob Zuma. So, looking at the responses of this video, South Africans are saying that Jabulani Khumalo, we honestly wish we could say we feel sorry for you. But truth of the matter is that we don't feel sorry for you. You know why? You played with fire, hoping you would not get burned. We told you that this thing of yours, keeping South Africans on suspense, South Africans not knowing what actually happens inside the MK party, Jacob Zuma is going to deal with you. And Jacob Zuma did not disappoint. He dealt with you. And now you are out in the cold. Some people said that you were going to join the ANC, but it looks like you are not a member of the ANC. So you are out in the cold, still fighting for MK party. So South Africans are saying that Jabulani Khumalo, as much as we feel for you, but we don't feel sorry for you, because everything that is happening right now, it is your fault. It is your fault. These are the people that you decided to deal with. Do not come to us cry when they deal with you.
The real founder of the MK party, Mr. Jabulani Khumalo, is opening criminal cases against the party.
Okay, Jabulani Khumalo is laying criminal charges against MK party. Is he sure that this is the route that he wants to take? I'm asking this because I'm quite worried about Jabulani Khumalo's safety, man. I'm quite worried about his safety. You remember last time when Jabulani Khumalo took Jacob Zuma to court, wanting the courts to remove Jacob Zuma as the leader of the party. This is actually what happened. Just look at Jabulani Khumalo and just look at how happy he was when he arrived at the High Court. Just look at him, man. He's shaking hands. He's all smiles, man. Everything is still good. Everything is still good. Yeah, man. He's doing the Nelson Mandela there, greeting people, man. They're like, he's quite happy. But this is what actually happened when Jabulani Khumalo left the courthouse. Guys, just look at how angry the supporters of MK party are with Jabulani Khumalo. They are so pissed off with him. You know, looking at this video, man, I remember, man, I honestly thought that something was going to happen that day. I thought that maybe someone was going to lose their lives that day, man. The way things were happening, it was insane. And guys, do you remember this car? Jabulani Khumalo's car. This is the same car that was so controversial because the MK members believed that Jabulani Khumalo was bribed with this car to try to take the party from Jacob Zuma. Till today, the MK members actually believe that this car was bought by ANC for Jabulani Khumalo to destabilize the MK party. So Jabulani Khumalo attending court case with the same car that MK members hate so much. It was not a good idea, man. Because when they saw that car, they said, man, this guy is going to attend the court case with the same car that was actually used and offered to him as a bribe to destroy our movement. Jabulani Khumalo is going to learn today. So the supporters of MK party are going to throw stones. They are going to kick at this car, man. I honestly thought that something bad was going to happen. So it actually shows you that the supporters of MK party are on the side of Jacob Zuma. They are not on the side of Jabulani Khumalo. They are not on the side of Jabulani Khumalo. So this actually puts his safety at risk. Listen to that guy. Boop, boop. They are kicking the car. They are throwing stones. It's a mess. Guys, the insults that are coming out, I don't even want to translate that, man. I'm sure if I translate half of those insults, man, YouTube is going to ban this video. I'm telling you. You see, they are throwing stones at his other car, man. And these people are saying that shoot, if you want to shoot at us, go ahead, shoot us. Jeez. And you look over here, you have the police. The police are just sitting there, man, and watching. They are not even protecting Jabulani Khumalo. If it wasn't for his personal security, man, I don't know what would have actually happened, because these people are so angry at him. You didn't see, the police did not even interfere, and they could see that this man's life was actually in danger, but the police said, no, we don't want to deal with it. So I don't know if it would be wise for Jabulani Khumalo to continue to agitate these people, man. Clearly, MK people do not want him. The Jacob Zuma does not want him. But it looks like Jabulani Khumalo has some scores to settle with Jacob Zuma. This is exactly what it looks like.
Mr. Jabulani Khumalo is opening criminal cases against the party. He is here with Biz News Now to tell us why. Welcome, Mr. Khumalo.
Thank you so much, man. Where I welcome your interview, and I am so happy to explain and give the world the truth about Umkhonto Wesizwe and what is now happening. Because people need to know why we registered Umkhonto Wesizwe. I registered Umkhonto Wesizwe with other 7 members, which I was talking to when I started the initiative. That started last year, early January 23, sorry. And then we agreed on certain terms as we were attempting to register. But then we went to, we took a decision to say, no, let us consult with the elders who are matured in the politics. So we decided to bring Mr. Jacob Zuma to Menkandla, which in home is my home father, because we from the same place. Now, when we went to meet him, we went there to discuss the economy and the other problems that are happening in South Africa and the failures of the ANC, which were saying the ANC not doing well or doing justice towards the South Africans. So we said, because he's an elder and a veteran in the ANC, he will give us a pure and clean answers as to what we should be doing to change the problems that we're having in South Africa. Fortunately, at first he said no. Opening up a new party is not a way to do, because ANC will never die. He himself believes that he will die the ANC, and there's no other party that can take over the ANC.
So are you telling South Africans that Jacob Zuma was at Nkandla minding his business? Then you came with this idea that we need another political party. So if it wasn't for you, we would not have the MK party today. Man, I'm sure Julius Malema would not be happy with the fact that you are the one who actually came up with this idea of MK party. Even the ANC would not be happy, man, to know that Jacob Zuma was just sitting in Nkandla, minding his business, minding his animals. Then you came with this idea. And Jacob Zuma said, man, I didn't think about this idea, but these people just gave me a perfect idea to get back at the people that screwed me over.
But we went on because we were so determined to do this. Then I'll try to be short. We then registered. We started the process, but then he said to us, let us wait, because if we start the process of registering a name that is not popular, we're going to have a problem. He said to us he's going to suggest names for us, but we must never say that we took those advices from him, because he doesn't want to be involved. He's still a member of the ANC and he doesn't want to have trouble.
I mean, guys, watching Jabulani Khumalo talking about Jacob Zuma and the deals that were made behind the scenes, do you feel like this is going to be Floyd Shivambu maybe in 2 years or so, telling South Africans what actually transpired and what actually led him to joining MK Party? Because while I was watching this interview, I said, man, are we going to watch Floyd Shivambu doing the same thing? Is this what we are going to see from Floyd Shivambu? I don't know.
We did that. We had that meeting. Then that's when he suggested to us that instead of using Umazbuye, let's use Umkhonto weSizwe. We had a number of questions, and he said, no, don't worry about those ones. ANC ditched the Umkhonto weSizwe name, so no one can fight over that name. We did that, then we took it, we registered. Zuma had nothing to do with it, and he didn't even put a cent. He was staying in Nkandla, and he was a chairperson of the SANCO, and he was happy with SANCO, he was happy with the ANC. So I registered. Then after registration, we went to him and told him, now we have registered. This is the name. He just wanted to say, oh, okay, fine. But he had no interest. We went through all the processes up until the final registration. Still, he didn't have any interest. Then in October, towards the end of October, that's when he started to have an interest. Then he said to us, okay, can I support? He never said he wanted to be a member. And he continuously saying that he will never be the member of Umkhonto weSizwe. Then when we were preparing to launch Umkhonto weSizwe, that's when he said, can we allow him to announce it for us? But he's not going to say he's a member. He's going to say he's supporting MK and he will vote for MK. We agreed on that. That was done in December 16, 2023. Then from January, we started our projects. We started canvassing for elections. Then he was involved fully. As we were moving, we had an agreement with him. The first agreement was that in Umkhonto weSizwe, we don't want people who are tainted, whose name are in the state capture, whose name is being announced on certain corruptions and whatever. We don't
How ironic, man. How ironic.
want those people. Even the people that ANC has gotten rid of because of corruption or any other wrongdoing, we don't want them to be part of the management or the directors or the leaders of the Umkhonto weSizwe. He agreed with us that he's not going to do that and he's not going to allow it. And he agreed that if Umkhonto weSizwe wants to move forward, we should be using people with good names, people who would want to work for the community, people who are clean, who are not going to cause us problems with all these corruption cases and stuff. We agreed on that. But as we moved on, he brought her daughter. In actual fact, he brought all his family. We had no problem with that. But the only problem that started was that his daughter started to be crazy and started making lots of problems within the organization, lying, bringing in liars, and even the liars from MKBA came in to tell him lies about us and about me, especially because the daughter had some anterior motives, which we never knew. We were working, hoping that we are all working towards fixing the country.
So Jabulani Khumalo says that they agreed that they don't want anyone who was named and shamed in Zondo Commission and state capture and sort of things. But truth of the matter is that Jacob Zuma, he is one of the people that was actually accused of sort of things in the state capture. It has not been proven guilty. He has not been proven guilty in the court of law, but you know that Jacob Zuma was the president, and when the whole thing actually happened, so it doesn't make sense that you were actually fired with going to Jacob Zuma, knowing that this is the position that we are going to take with this new political party. We don't want people that were named and shamed in the Zondo Commission. We don't want anyone who actually has a corruption scandal, but at the same time, you don't have a problem going to Jacob Zuma. But now that there's a fallout between you and Jacob Zuma, you are coming back and saying that, no, this man is corrupt. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, like, out of everyone, why would you go to Jacob Zuma? Or you thought that you could just use Jacob Zuma's popularity and you would use Jacob Zuma and you will throw him out once MK party is in parliament, or that is that what you guys were actually planning, that you going to use this guy who is super popular in KZN and who is super popular in some places in South Africa. You are going to use him to actually take the party to parliament. And after the party has been there, you are going to get rid of him. But Jacob Zuma looks like he was 10 steps away from you. It looks like Jacob Zuma was far ahead. He knew your game. He knew your game, and he knew that you guys don't know what the hell that you are doing.
Then, unfortunately, when we were in the meeting, I was the one who had to find money to fund the lawyers, because the ANC took us to court. I had to find money for that. I had to find money for traveling for members and other comrades within the leadership. And Zuma had done nothing, zero, nothing at all. And even on that, we went behind my back and had meetings with the people who are tainted, who are people that are in a state capture commission, people who have done lots of corruption in the companies of the government. And I said to him, but we did not agree on this. We agreed that we are not going to bring these people. That's when our problem started. And his daughter at the same time was doing lots of wrong things, and he never wanted to sort that one out. that's when we started to be not on the same foot. Then soon after that, we were supposed to receive funding for the organization. There are people we were talking to. As soon as those people wanted the meeting with him and myself, he then wanted me to be out of that meeting, and so that he can discuss those funds with those people outside myself. So I said, no, it's fine. I will not be part of it.
Why would you agree to something like that? If you are the founder of the political party, why would you agree to Jacob Zuma saying that, no, you are not going to be part of this meeting? Please go outside and play with your phone while the adults are discussing real business. Why would you agree on something like that if you are the real founder of the MK party? Why would you agree to something like that? Can you just imagine Mbuyiseni Ndlozi and Marshall Dlamini telling Julius Malema that, man, you can go there and have some juice and biscuits. We are going to discuss the business on behalf of the EFF. And you, Julius Malema, as the founder of the party, we don't want you in this meeting. It doesn't make sense. So why would you agree to sitting outside while Jacob Zuma was having meetings on behalf of the MK party? Why would you do something like that? Or why would you agree? Why?
If that's what you want, and then he went on alone without me. Then then after that, he said that I am fired. No, before that, her daughter, fortunately, signed the letter on my the letter that says I'm appointing him to be the president of Mkhonto, which I never did. The only letter I signed was to say he will be the face of the party towards the elections on the ballot. That's all. But his daughter then forged my signature and put him as a president and submitted to the IEC. Then I took him to court for that. Then he said he's fired me. He's now the president because the daughter gave him that status to fraudulent exercise. Then now he's been trying to be appointed on the CPRO documents to be the director of Mkhonto Sizwe. I discovered this on the 8th. There was some attempts. Then on Thursday, I discovered that yes, fraudulently, successfully put himself to be the director of Mkhonto Sizwe, not him alone, but his daughter, Mtuzile Zuma, and her other daughter, Tabisile Khumalo. They are now directors of Mkhonto Sizwe on the CPRO. What they did, they went to CPRO, they changed my email, they changed my cell phone so that they can receive the OTP, then they will be able to change my name and take me out of the CPRO. That is the process they've been doing, and this has been happening for almost 3 or 4 months. They've been trying to do this, but finally they fraudulently made it through getting my email changed and my cell number changed so that they can get the OTP. But when they finished, I think then they linked it back. Then CPRO sent me the message to say that you have successfully made the amendment. That's when I saw it. So that is why.
I mean, like, guys, like, does that make sense to you? I mean, like, to me, it doesn't make sense, man. Some of the things that Jabulani Khumalo is saying, man, I'm honestly trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but listening to him, man, I'm like, some of the things that you are saying, man, they don't make sense, man. They don't make sense. They honestly don't make sense. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but man, Because again, you need to mention the fact that you lost that case against Jacob Zuma. You remember when you wanted the cause to get rid of Jacob Zuma? You lost that case. You lost that case, which means that you could not prove that they forged your signature. You could not prove that they forged your signature. And this whole thing of CIPRO, like, did they only notify you after everything was changed? Ah, man.
Then yesterday I went to open the case against him because he's the one on the CIPRO document. I can't open the case against someone that I don't know. I'm opening a case against the people that are now in the CIPRO fraudulently because I didn't sign any document. I didn't give anyone any consent to change the directors of the CIPRO. So I'm going ahead with that case. So this will be the second case of fraud against President Jacob Zuma.
So, I mean, like, clearly they didn't need you for anything. You allowed them to kick you out of the meetings. You allowed them to make you sit outside the meetings while the MK business was being discussed. Why do you think that right now they would actually consult you when they need to do something? They could see through you that this guy is a coward, this guy is soft. We don't need him for anything. We don't need him for anything. He used his own money to register this political party. We don't need him for anything. So to me, it sounds like a case where someone was lying down with the dogs and got up with the fleas, and now you are just complaining that it looks like I have fleas all over my body, forgetting that you were down with the dogs. This is what it sounds like to me. This is what it sounds like to me. I mean, like, why would you want to be the leader of the political party, man, if you are going to be so soft, allowing people to simply take over your political party like that? Why would you want to be the leader of the political party? And why do you think that you deserved to lead South Africans when you are so soft? You have this country, man. This country actually needs someone with balls. If you want to lead South Africa, you have to have balls. You have to have the balls of steel to stand for what you believe. But you wanted to be the leader of the people of this country. And being like this, what kind of president would you actually make? I mean, like, don't you sit down and actually think that, man, I would have made a terrible president if I were to be the president of this country? I would make a terrible president because I don't have the backside for anything. You don't have the backbone for anything. You don't. So why would you want to be the leader in this country when you don't have the backbone?
And his family, because he is doing this because he thinks he's the god of South Africa or of the world. I don't know. Because I don't understand an old man could do or allow this in his name. If he's a respectful person, he would say, no, not in my name. You can't do fraud in my name. But he's not saying anything. So I take it that he's agreeing to it. Because if he was not agreeing to it, he would have gone publicly and said, I never asked anybody to fraudulently put me into CIPRO documents. And even on his daughter, when we went to court, he went to court with a lawyer to defend it, meaning he agrees that fraud is okay to be done in South Africa, or is okay to be done if it's done by his family. It's fine. So how can a leader like him do that? I'm very, very surprised. And I'm concerned if people will continue to believe that a person of his age can allow such things to happen in a country that he says he fought for, in a country that he says he loves, in a country where people are suffering through this corruption and these frauds. Today, our country is under a lot of problems because crime is high. and it's done by people who are top, who have high names, who are respected, and they do these crimes. So how are we going to stop the crimes if people that have been in a position of his caliber will allow such things to happen? I will not sit back, but I'm going to court, and I'm going to continue to fight it until it's resolved. MK has been hijacked by Zuma's cronies. All people that are in these so-called state capture, fraud things, no VBS, or whatever, they all moved to Umkodo Esizwe. For what? So I'm thinking that Zuma is creating now a cabal that is going to finish the country. Because if you put in corrupt people together, what are you bringing? What are you doing? I'm questioning this. I never registered in Umkodo Esizwe for Zuma's cronies to come back and fight the state, to continue where they started looting.
So if you say Zuma's cronies, are you accepting that Zuma had cronies before? Because you say Zuma's cronies, it means that you accept that Jacob Zuma had cronies. So if Jacob Zuma had cronies, why would you take your political party to someone like that when you believed that this political party should not be led by anyone who has a corruption scandal? Now you are saying Zuma's cronies, but not so long ago you said that we wanted this political party to actually take the position that people who were named and shamed, people who have corruption scandals, must not be part of this political party. And you still went ahead to Jacob Zuma. Still went ahead to Jacob Zuma. Now you are saying Zuma's cronies, as if you are saying something that South Africans are going to be shocked by. South Africans are not shocked by you saying that Zuma's cronies. South Africans knew all of these things that you are saying. South Africans knew about them, and they knew about them. And they knew about them. And now you are crying because the people that have been accused of all sorts of things are now moving to Umkhonto Wesizwe. You are crying that no, Zuma is bringing all of his cronies to Umkhonto Wesizwe. What did you expect?
I'm very, very much unhappy about this. And I will go to court, and I'm begging South Africans who wants to change, who wants to deal away with crime, who wants to deal away with fraud, who wants to deal away with anything that is disabling the South Africans from living freely in South Africa.
So what do you think is behind the removal of MK parliamentarians?
No, man, don't ask that question, man. The question that this lady should ask is a very simple question. What do you want? What do you want? You are taking Jacob Zuma to court. You are taking MK party to court. You say that you are going to fight. What is it exactly do you want? This is the question that should be posed to Jabulani Khumalo. Do you want Jacob Zuma to give you back the MK party? What is it exactly do you want? Do you want the MK party to get rid of Jacob Zuma as the leader of the party? Do you want the people that have been accused of corruption to leave MK party? What is it that do you want? This is the question that should be posed. What is it that do you want? What are you fighting for?
South Africa.
So what do you think is behind the removal of MK parliamentarians to make place for others?
The removal of the parliamentarians, I was involved in the elections of those people to be in the list in parliament. I was with Sihle Ngubane, who is now the what you call it, is leading the organization in the parliament party, second to Shope, Judge Shope. He was part of it. He was doing the registration of these people. But today, he was the first to write a letter to say they went in wrongly. Sihle Ngubane is a liar. He lied to the country. Those lists were signed by him. He was a deputy secretary of the organization under Advocate Mashudu, and myself as the deputy president at the time. Zuma was not in Gauteng. He was in Cape Town. He was informed that we have a problem with the list that we had combined before with Gorbachev and other leaders, because those lists could not be sent in because Gorbachev was fired by Zuma the night before we were supposed to submit. This is a problem with Zuma. He doesn't think. He just do things the way he wants to do it.
And when did you realize that Jacob Zuma does not think? When did you realize that Jacob Zuma does not think? Because I think these are some of the things that you actually need to answer, man. When did you realize that Jacob Zuma does not think? Before or after you actually offered your political party to him? Did you know this about Jacob Zuma before you actually went to Nkandla to beg him to help you? When did you realize that Jacob Zuma does not think? I think it is very important, this question, because it is now going to look at your character as Jabulani Khumalo. It's going to look at your character and your judgment as Jabulani Khumalo. Because if you come to us and start saying that, no, these people are corrupt, these people cannot think, these people are just corrupt. I think the question that should be posed is, when did you realize that these people are corrupt? When did you realize that these people cannot think? Because this question actually judge your judgment. We are now judging your judgment.
Doesn't consult. And the first problem it caused for MK was to fire Gorbachev and McDonald. Those were the people who were dealing with the registration to the parliamentarians. They had all the list, all the provinces submitted. On that night, before the day of submission, he fired them at 6 p.m. He said they must leave and they must give Advocate Mashudu all the document. They never did that. They were aggrieved. They left with the document. The next day, Mashudu was his first day in the organization as a secretary. And Sihle Ngubane was the first day as a deputy secretary. And they both worked on that day. They called me. It was about 11 o'clock. I went and assisted them to register. So the numbers that we got to get to Parliament were done by Sihle, Advocate Mashudu, myself, Mahlalentabeni, and all the groups that Mahlalentabeni, Sihle, and Advocate Mashudu brought in. Advocate Mashudu even bought 6 brand new laptops to assist on that to get these people the parliamentarian so that we can qualify. If Mashudu and Sihle and Mahlalentabeni did not do that, MK would not be in parliament today. And Zuma was not there. Zuma's daughter was not there. All these cronies that is bringing in now, they were not there. The young man called Tam, he was there the whole night and he was working. Today is the first on the list to be chucked out of Nkandla parliamentarians. This is the craziness of Jacob Zuma. He doesn't think. He just do things as he wishes. Because people say, Baba, that is a very big problem that we have in Nkandla, because Nkandla is not going forward because people will tell you, Baba is sleeping, Baba is tired, Baba is this. And we've missed Baba is sleeping. Nkandla is not going forward because people will tell you, Baba is sleeping, Baba is tired, Baba is this. And we've missed all the things that the South African voters, they voted Nkandla to lead in KZN, but we are not leading in KZN today because Zuma was sleeping when the other parties were working towards getting the parliamentarians to work. In KZN, we should be leading. We should be having a premier. We're not having a premier. We are. I don't know what is it called now. In the national, we're supposed to be part of the government in whatever way, because the people voted to say, go to parliament and deal with our issues. People did not say, go to parliament and make mockery of us. What you see now is mockery. People that are in there, they will tell you, Ubaba, it's not right. So people who are parliamentarians that have been sent out are the very people that made the MK to be in parliament. Those people who are checking out these people, they were not even there to assist the organization to get into parliament.
So, guys, do you think that Jabulani Khumalo will ever get his party back? Do you think that he will ever get his party back? If he's the real founder of MK Party, do you think that he will ever get the party back? Because right now, man, he sounds like someone who is just mad, furious at Jacob Zuma, at everything that is happening at MK Party. And for some reason, he still believes that he has a say on what's happening in MK Party. But truth of the matter is that he does not have a say on anything that happens inside MK Party. He does not have a say. He does not have a say on anything that happens inside MK Party. That's why I said, man, like that question was going to be very important in letting us know where is the headspace of Jabulani Khumalo. A simple question: what do you want? I believe that it was actually going to guide us to actually understand what is it exactly that Jabulani Khumalo wants. What is it exactly do you want? Because if we were to agree that, okay, maybe these people were successful in frauding your in scamming your party away from you, it means that you are never going to get the party back. It means that you are never going to get the party back. So now, what is it do you want? What is it do you want? I think this is a very important question, man. If you have Jabulani Khumalo's email, please send me that email, man. I need to... I don't mind having an interview with him. I can only ask him one question. What do you want? What do you want? Because just rambling about what's happening inside MK Party, how is that helping anything? How is that helping anything? Because Jacob Zuma is doing as he please. People are going in and out of MK Party. You are a member of parliament today. Before the ink even dries on your contract, you are told that no, you thought you were going to get 1 million per year. No, you are not going to get that salary. Get the hell out of here. Make way for Floyd Shivambu. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. So what is it exactly does Jabulani Khumalo want? This is one thing that I'm struggling to understand. While I'm listening to him, I'm struggling to understand what is it exactly does he want. What is it does he want?
But because they are so-called chomies of Zuma's daughter, they have now taken over, and they're doing as they please, and they tell Zuma what to do. And Zuma doesn't say anything. He just say, okay, then he said, they were chucked out for nothing. Those people, they are the ones who were on the ground. And on top of the people that are in parliament, I want to say, we have led Africans who were small businesses in the townships who made sure that MK is live. They did your motorgate, your whatever, they organized. I'm very painful on this one because those people took their money. We had no money as a leadership. They will even give us money for petrol to come to them when they called these meetings. But Zuma, in many of these meetings, he never went to them. He would listen to his daughter to say where he must go. Where there are people who are really supporting MK will never be attended. But today, none of those businessmen are being held. They are lying there. They are nothing. When they want to go and see Zuma, the daughter will say no, and Zuma will not go. He will only go to the people that he had worked with, people that attended, people that had no interest in the MK when it was in its inception. They never put even a cent, but today they are called leaders of Umkhonto weSizwe. And the people who are supposed to be leading Umkhonto weSizwe, they are suffering down there. That is my pain.
So, what do you make of Floyd Shivambu leaving the Economic Freedom Fighters for MK?
That one, I don't believe it. It's my opinion. I don't think Floyd left EFF. Floyd started EFF. EFF is where it is because of Floyd and Malema. I don't believe, even in my sleep, that Floyd and Malema will ever be splitted.
The thing is that, man, you have a terrible judgment. That's the thing. You have a terrible judgment, man. That's the thing. It's hard to take anything you say seriously. It's hard to take you seriously as an individual because you have such a terrible judgment. You have a terrible judgment. So, guys, unfortunately, we listened to the interview, but me personally, maybe I am slow. Maybe you guys can tell me on the comment section, what is it that Jabulani Khumalo wants? And is he going to be successful in those things that he wants? Is he going to be successful? Because right now, you look at even the ground, the members of the MK party, the ones on the ground, they want nothing to do with Jabulani Khumalo. They don't want him inside the MK party. If the MK party members actually see Jabulani Khumalo, they are going to hurt him the same way they tried to hurt him the other day when he took the leader to court. You saw how Jabulani Khumalo was actually treated by the supporters of MK party. So that's why I'm saying that maybe I am slow, guys. Maybe you can tell me on the comment sections that, Thomas, this is what Jabulani Khumalo wants, and this is how Jabulani Khumalo is going to be successful in getting what he wants, or this is how Jabulani Khumalo is going to fail from getting this, what he wants. Because I don't understand what is it that he wants. I don't understand what is it that he wants. Because I don't feel like even when it comes to telling us the inside info, I don't think he went deep enough. I think maybe he was just being careful about telling us some of the details about what actually happened behind the scenes. But at the same time, he's not doing himself any favor, because he's claiming to fight this thing. He's claiming to fight this thing, but how are you going to fight Jacob Zuma and the MK party when you don't tell us what is it exactly transpired? Because right now, you are coming out with an expose. You are coming out with an expose, and if you are going to do so, you must tell us everything. Because right now, it feels like it feels like you have omitted a lot of details. It feels like a lot of details. Maybe you are saving this for the rainy days. We don't know. But it feels like you have omitted a lot of details about what actually transpired behind the scenes. This is what it feels like to me. I don't feel like Jabulani Khumalo told us enough about what actually happened. This is what we know. This is not something new. Everything that Jabulani Khumalo is saying, this is something we have learned about in the media somewhere. This is not new. I was actually expecting him to come with new information and say that, guys, you really want to know what happened behind the scenes? This is what happened behind the scenes. And South Africans can be like, Jacob Zuma, how can you do that to poor Jabulani Khumalo? But what he's saying right now, it is not shocking at all. It is not shocking. I am not shocked or moved by anything that Jabulani Khumalo has said. Honestly.
This could be orchestrated for us to be fooled and to lose the MK without knowing. But it's up to Zuma if he does think.
Man, you lost the MK without knowing. You yourself, you have lost MK without knowing. You have lost MK without knowing. I mean, it is shameful, the fact that you cannot even try to see what's happening in front of your eyes. It's happening here in front of your eyes, but you are still speculating like the rest of us. You are still speculating. You have lost MK while you were sleeping. You say that Jacob Zuma was sleeping when people were negotiating for the government in KwaZulu-Natal and for the national government. But it looks like you are the one who has been sleeping while Jacob Zuma was taking your party away from you. You were sleeping. You were fast asleep. You were fast asleep, man, eating your snots while Jacob Zuma was taking your party away from you.
Without knowing. But it's up to Zuma. If he does think he's got intelligence, he should be using his intelligence, because he'll always lie to us and say he's got intelligence. The intelligence is telling him what. But so many things has gone wrong in the MK under the nose of those so-called his intelligence. But for Shivambu to come to MK, there is something fishy about it. And I don't believe he came in just to assist MK or because he's got something against Malema. They've been working very well together, and they must keep that together.
So what do you think the future holds for MK, the way things are going now?
MK doesn't have any future now because Zuma brought all his cronies who are tainted. I'm very much surprised that you can take a person that has got a number of cases against, and then you say that person must lead the organization. Dr. Flope is now Dr. Flope, the judge, the former judge. He has to clean himself first. He was supposed to wait and clean himself. Once he's clean, then he comes to MK and be a leader. He should have taken a membership and stayed as a member. Then people who were in MK, who worked in the MK, must be brought in to work. Because it's not about, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that is, I don't know. But people who are in MK can take MK forward because they know the problems on the shop floor, where they come from. They know why they joined MK. But Dr. Klopp never cared about MK. He was just parachuted up to lead the MK without knowing even the values or any things that we discussed about MK.
Thank you. That was the real founder of the MK.
Jabulani Khumalo did not tell us anything new, man. I feel like we wasted our time listening to Jabulani Khumalo. There is nothing new that Jabulani Khumalo said, man. There's nothing new that Jabulani Khumalo said. Anything, like, he didn't say anything that could potentially take Jacob Zuma down. If his intention was to take Jacob Zuma down, he has failed to do that. He has failed to do that because all of these things that he's saying today are not worthy enough to actually take Jacob Zuma down or to take MK party down or to make people turn their backs on the MK party. So I still do not understand, man, why Jabulani Khumalo is doing the interviews. Because if you want to do the interviews and say that you are going for a fight, you really need to make sure that you are fighting. You need to make sure that you are fighting. But don't come here, man, and tell us the things that we have already learned about in the media. Don't come here and tell us and vent about what Jacob Zuma is doing in the MK party. We want to know the real details, man. We want to know the deeper things inside of MK party, and maybe potentially these things could actually help your cause. But as things stand, nothing that you said can actually take Jacob Zuma down. Nothing, like absolutely nothing. Nothing, totally nothing. I don't see anything that could potentially take Jacob Zuma down. I don't want to lie. There's nothing that could actually take Jacob Zuma down. Guys, I don't know, man. Please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.